happy Thursday. I can't believe it's already been 2 weeks since the last live stream. There's a lot to talk about, right? So many things have happened. So, like, let's not waste any time. Let's just let the music play and get into this one. Okay. So the first bit of news that I really want to talk about. Well, first of all, let me reintroduce myself, Kyle Petty of the Kyle Petty Show, right? Really excited to be here. Got a lot of great stuff happening for you. I want to tell you though, some of the news that I'm like most excited about. The Pussycat Dolls are getting back together. Okay, thank you, Nicole Scherzinger, for finally getting it together and reuniting one of my favorite girl groups. So I'm super excited about this. Obviously, only two of the girls are joining her back. You know, they got mad drama in that group, but that's okay because I mean, obviously, the Dolls are Nicole. If we're going to be completely honest, so we're super excited about that. And now that we got that out of the way, what else can I tell you about? I expanded the website a little bit, right? Anybody remember Deb's Web from years ago? Like the community has changed a lot, like since those days, because now everybody can just kind of post their own things on social media. They don't really need one central hub. But back in the day, if you wanted to know what was going on in Long Island theater and see what auditions were going on, you went to Deb's Li Web homestead.com. Okay, that is a real Long Island theater throwback. Okay, but I expanded the website to have audition listings up there as well. So if you're going there to check out a review, you're going there to check out a conversation or something, you can also click the little page, click the link to get to the page that says Long Island Theater Auditions. And I've got some things there. There's only things that I could just find from the goings on social media. Okay, so if you don't see your production on there, you don't see your theater listed, give me a shout so I can shout you out. But okay, so there's that. So over the past 2 weeks, I had two really fantastic conversations with two massively talented people. The first one being Patrick Campbell, who is directing the Long Island premiere of Jagged Little Pill. That'll be opening next Saturday, the 21st, at Smithtown Performing Arts Center. This was a really, really great conversation. And I was like definitely fangirling in this moment, right? Because I've heard so much about how wonderful it is to work for him, and I've not yet had the pleasure to do so. So I loved hearing like what his creative process sounds like. I liked hearing what his connection to Jagged Little Pill was and why it was important for him to direct this one. We swapped some fun stories as well too. So you'll be seeing a little bit of that conversation in the live stream tonight, and our extended conversation will be available everywhere else at 10 p.m. like Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, wherever you'd like to be. You can access that from the website at thekylepettyshow.com as well. Who else did I chat with? I chatted with my good sis Shea McMahon. I think you may have seen from the clip on Instagram today that we had to kind of hash some things out, right? She's still holding on to some beef of all these months. But no, we had a great conversation. We talked a little bit about how she's opening Cats this weekend at CM Performing Arts Center as Jenny Any Dots, but she also designed the set, right? So she's like multi-talented. I mean, she really does it all, right? She's a choreographer. She designs sets. She also directs. I mean, this girl is busy and super talented. And we'll get into some of her conversation regarding Cats and the creative process with her set design in this live stream as well. But one of my favorite parts of the conversation that I had with her was really regarding the disparity in Long Island theater with children's theater performers and main stage performers. I think in every theater on Long Island, there is kind of this stigma that, like, children's theater is kind of treated like less than, like the budgets are not as big. The costumes usually don't get as much attention as a main stage. But expectations have changed over the years, right? Theaters certainly expect their children's theater productions to look as good as the main stage, which I completely support that. That is exactly how it should be. But if you're going to expect main stage quality and main stage effort from your children's theater performers, then you actually have to give them that respect and effort first, right? That's got to be a two-way street. And we did get into a little conversation about that. That's in the extended conversation, though. You won't find that in tonight's stream. That'll also drop tonight at 10 p.m. Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts. But I'm also going to do a special feature of this that'll come out on Monday because I think it's an important conversation for us to have as a community, right? So that's what we do here in this house, right? We are for the community and by the community. So we are going to support the community. But with that being said, let me show you some of the best bits of my conversation with the massively, incredibly talented Patrick Campbell. Some things about Jagged Little Pill. I think I was kind of telling you in the pre-chat. The only thing I know about this is Alanis Morissette.
Yeah.
I don't even know why it's called Jagged Little Pill. So
Mm.
yeah, tell us some things.
Sure. So in its core, it's about an American family
Mhm.
going through a crisis, and it's the implications of the inner machinations of this family onto the community around them, and vice versa. Situations that are happening in the community of impacting this family unit. It's interesting. It's comparative to a Next to Normal in the sense that
Mm.
we see all of the dynamics and all the struggles of all the members of the family. But this one is different because you do see the trickle into the community of people around them, which is really why I love it. It's a family, it's a white conservative family in Connecticut. And it focuses on MJ, the mother of the family. She is struggling with an opiate addiction, hence Jagged Little Pill.
Mm.
And Frankie, the younger daughter, who is Black, she is adopted, and their dynamics within the family, as well as topics of gender, queerness, sexual assault, Me Too movement. It really covers a lot of bases, and features all of the iconic songs from Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little Pill album.
Mm. Oh, that was an album.
It was an album, yeah. It
That's
was.
how
It
much I
was.
don't know. All I know is you ought to know,
Yeah.
and I guess, and I
That
guess I
is that
should.
is that is really the one that people think of most.
Right.
But that is from Jagged Little Pill,
Oh,
the album, which is
okay.
like her most decorated
Mm.
album.
The more
Yeah,
you know.
the more you
Okay,
know.
the more you know. So, what made you directed and what you directed? What made you interested in directing this show?
Hmm. I really am drawn to shows that I don't want to say are darker. I love to see and watch frilly, golden age bubblegum shows. I love watching them.
Hmm.
But I feel really, really connected to pieces that I can sit into the emotions of them and work with people on how are we as a collective embracing these emotions while also inviting the audience into those emotions as
Hmm.
well. I'm here for a musical that makes me cry, I have to say. Those really are just my favorites. And this musical is different in the fact that the ensemble is not just there to help the plot along and make all the numbers look really big and impressive and pretty. The ensemble really mirrors the emotions and the struggles of the main characters.
Hmm.
There's even some ensemble members that are avatars of the characters. So when the mom is singing a big solo and it becomes too much for her to perhaps show us her journey, an ensemble member will dance out her story throughout the rest of that number.
Mm.
So it's a really, really interesting contemporary movement based ensemble that I'm really obsessed with. The album was really a big part of my life growing up. It's a favorite for my mom.
Okay.
When this album was released, I was going through my very first breakup in college. And I just remember sitting in my car and sobbing to the music.
Mm.
And since that moment, I was like, hey, I need to be a part of this one day.
Yeah.
And here I
So you got a
am.
personal attachment to it. I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally, totally.
So it sounds like dance and movement is also an important part of this production. Who
Yeah.
choreographed it?
Vinny Donadio is our choreographer.
Oh, okay. Familiar,
Yeah.
familiar. We did Sister Act together
Oh,
score and
great.
7 years ago. Yeah. All right. Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah.
That's a nice layer to that. All right. Now, do you have a favorite moment in this show?
I don't wanna spoil anything, but I will say there's a
Mm.
sequence in Act 1 where our main character, MJ, we see her struggling with her drug abuse, and she takes a drug, and we move through her day backwards. And
Hmm.
it's a really, really interesting tool of showing just drug abuse and how it looks. And I think usually, when we see addiction in musicals, it's usually like a slurred speech. It's a I can't carry myself and I'm falling all over myself and it's a bit much. This is very simple in its nature, but it's not at all because we're moving through her day completely in reverse, and everyone,
Mm.
including the ensemble, is moving completely backwards through her day.
That's interesting. So you
Yeah.
get to actually see like the negative portion of it, but then you're gonna get to walk through it, and find out how we got to that moment, instead
100%.
of maybe just seeing the day or maybe even just seeing the crash out. We
Hmm.
don't talk about necessarily why people are addicted to their drugs, like, and what motivated that action. How do we get here?
Yeah.
So going backwards, that's fun. I like, well,
Fun.
not fun, but
I
but
agree. I agree.
you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, cool. I'm looking forward to that. Um, and now directing this one, what would you say has been your biggest challenge during this rehearsal process?
Biggest challenge during the rehearsal process. I think it's a couple things. I think it's my first time working at Smithtown Performing Arts Center, which
Hmm.
has been a joy. It's been so lovely, but
Good.
I'm acclimating to the new space. It's a brand new theater, so just kind of figuring out how to make the show feel balanced and full and intimate in this space. It's tricky. Musicals are tricky because you want to fill the space, but you also need moments to feel very intimate. And
Hmm.
on a big stage, it's tricky. And Smithtown has a larger house. There's a balcony seating,
Yeah.
so it's finding ways to make the space feel good for this show. I also think it's a massive show. There's a lot of music, a lot of music that people are very familiar with. So you really want to do it justice. The musical on Broadway had like a cult like following for a bit. So
Mm.
it's really the perhaps the pressure of, can we do it justice? How do we make this our own story, but also give the fans what they want and what they expect with it? So
Yeah.
yeah, I think between that and figuring out all the space adjustments has been tricky, but
Hmm.
rewarding.
Yeah.
Rewarding.
Now, do you have a live pit for this one, or is it tracked?
It's tracked, but via a live pit. So because the show is so new, there are no tracks available for it.
Hmm.
So our music director, Samantha Free, she actually the other night invited a pit to come and they played through the show, and we recorded our own tracks via the live pit.
Huh.
Yeah,
I think that's the most brilliant way of blending those two. I know.
totally.
Look, I love the fullness of a live pit,
Of
obviously, but there
course.
is something about a track that, like, well, unless you get off on it, right? But otherwise, there's something comforting about knowing that it's going to be the same each and every time. You know exactly what little sounds to expect. It's not
Totally.
like, oh, I'm waiting for this chime to cue me into this, and in that person's absence, there is no chime tonight.
Yeah,
Like, so,
totally.
yeah, yeah. So I think that's the best blend of that. That's excellent. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I'm excited about it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool. That's really cool. Um, Now you're not new to directing, right? You most recently directed Beautiful over at CM Performing Arts
yeah.
Center. Do you have a favorite production that you've directed?
Hmm. It's tricky because you get something so different from all of the shows that you work on.
Yeah.
I have such a different, a different feeling or sentiment that I've taken from each one. I think the one that I felt the most confident in what I brought to it in terms of, I felt like my vision was the most fulfilled across all aspects, cast, crew, production, was Jekyll and Hyde.
Mm,
I really, and that was the first time that I had directed something that I was not familiar with beforehand.
okay.
I really was not familiar with Jekyll and Hyde at all, besides knowing the story in the book. I was not a big fan of the musical like I am most of the time when I direct a show. So that was the first time I really had like a fresh perspective on it,
Hmm.
and it felt like it really came to fruition on all ends. So Jekyll and Hyde is really one that I look back on and I'm like, that was lightning in a bottle. That one.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, my mother
Yeah.
loved that one. I brought her to that.
Um,
And yeah, she was the head over heels over that for that one. So oh cool. That's awesome.
Good to
Nice, nice.
hear.
Yeah. Now you've also spent a lot of time on stage, right? Because
Mhm.
you're certainly known around here as being a performer too. What's been some of your favorite shows and roles that you've performed?
Recently, definitely Mark in Rent. That was a joy,
That was
something I've
awesome.
always wanted to do.
Yeah.
thank you. It was an amazing cast of people. It was like a pinch me moment. And also,
Mhm.
Kyle, not to bring it back, but the Tin Man was really one of my all-time favorites.
Oh, nice. I'm sorry I messed up that one show, but oh, The Wizard of Oz is really great, except for that Wednesday at 2 o'clock. No, that's awesome. I would love to do The Wizard of Oz again. Not in that capacity, though. I played the
No.
Lion once, and that was really, I
Mm,
had a lot of fun with that. And a lot more than I thought I would, because I don't really care about the movie. Um,
really?
yeah, I'm not a big fan of The Wizard of Oz, like as a story. Being
Sure.
in it is very different. It's fun to be in it, but like to watch it, it's a bit of a drudgery in my like.
It's the
But
nostalgia feeling for me.
it
So
is,
I could
yeah,
see,
yeah.
having a different feeling if it wasn't very nostalgic. Yeah.
Yeah, and not for me.
Yeah.
That was a really fun conversation. You can see the rest of it tonight at 10 o'clock on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. You're going to get so tired of me saying that over and over and over again. But now I've got my conversation with Shea. Again, set designer over at CM Performing Arts Center for Cats, and is also starring in the production as well. And then after Shay, we're back with the buzz. Right, I got some things to share with you about what's going on in Long Island theater right after that. So here's Shay, but also a quick word from one of my favorite sponsors. Child, as your favorite big back brother, I can absolutely tell you that we did not get to be this size by eating bad food. And when I'm looking for good chicken, there's only one place that I'm going, and that's Hot Chicken Mama over in Blue Point. Yes, ma'am? Yes, ma'am. Who opens up a small business in the middle of a pandemic and is still standing to talk about it over 5 years later? Okay? The proof is in the receipts. So if you're looking for some good chicken in the form of a sandwich or a tender, I know you better be at Hot Chicken Mama. Cats is opening this weekend, right? Tell
Mhm.
us some things about Cats. I saw this years ago as a child at the Winter Garden Theater, and all I
Mhm.
remember is people like this in very like tight costumes. Like that's the most I
Very
remember.
and that's correct. Very tight costumes.
Yeah,
You get extremely close with your castmates day one.
I would imagine so, because you're seeing everybody's naughty bits.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. So,
Yeah.
what is it actually about?
And that is a great question, Kyle,
Uh-uh.
because a lot of people will go and see it and not ever know what it's about. I have been an extreme long-standing Cats fan. Like it was the first musical introduced to me. It's actually the show that
Okay.
made me want to become a performer.
Oh.
I was like a little 3-year-old girl being babysat, and what my babysitter put on the TV was the pro shot, and I watched that and I fell in love. And then after that, of
Really?
course, after that was Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat. But I would be running around my house singing Memory as a little kid. So this really is like bucket list central for me, like
Oh,
checking this off.
nice.
It's been really like rewarding being a part of it. But it's the show itself is based on a series of poems, and the storyline, what you take away from Cats is what you want to, basically. Like everyone takes away something different from the show.
Okay.
Grisabella's number memory is, I feel like a lot of people can connect with and take away from that. It's about longing and wanting to find your happiness and your true place of where you belong. Um, it's really what you allow yourself to go in and see is what it's
Hmm.
about. If you want to talk surface level, it really is just a bunch of cats choosing who gets to die next. But
Okay.
it's really like a competition. You get to meet all these different old cats that they want to send to the heavy side layer, aka heaven.
Hmm.
But you could take a lot of different meanings and messages from the show itself, not just, oh, which cat do you want to die?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a little bit of a deeper response than I was expecting. So if this was
Oh,
something, no, just like certainly great. So if this is something that you were drawn to as a 3-year-old, then what about the show appealed to you then?
I think it was like the spectacle of it all,
Mm,
like the music, the dancing, the set, the lights, like it was very engaging to watch as a kid. What do I remember from being 3, but clearly something because it stuck with me from
right.
then. And like my mom would tell me stories about once I saw that I wouldn't stop wanting to watch it. Like I would always ask to watch Cats. I would always go around singing it in the house.
Oh,
But I think as a kid, like, it's such a big show that there's nothing that bores you.
hmm
You're always
hmm
watching something, you're always being pulled in by whether it's the dancing, the lights, like it's really just a showstopper of a show. I don't know how else to describe it, but it's fun to watch, it's fun to listen to, it makes you feel things.
Okay, I like that. So you as a choreographer, obviously, and I know dance is really special to you, very central to who you are as a creative as well. So who choreographed this production?
Our director was also the choreographer, Jojo
Oh,
Manasi, my
putting in
dear
double
friend.
time. Yeah, putting in double
Yeah,
time.
double
Okay.
time. Insane creative, like so smart. And a lot of it is his own original work, like in the flair, but we still pay homage to the original Jenny Lin choreo that
hmm
usually everyone expects when they see the show. Everyone is waiting to see this, they will pull out all those themes that you would recognize from the staged version,
hmm
but with JoJo's own flair, which honestly makes it more modern and more exciting,
Right. Right.
makes it different.
Okay.
You don't know what you're going to see.
I'm excited to see this one.
Mm.
This is something I don't know anything about. So often on Long Island, we see shows we've already seen before, and this is just this person's take. This is this person as this character, but everything else is kind of the same. This is going to
Hmm.
feel brand new because I haven't seen Cats done on Long Island in really like quite some time.
Yeah.
Um, who are you in this?
I play Jenny Anydots, the tap dancing Gumby cat.
Ooh, we
And
love we
yeah,
love a Shea tap number.
yes, we do. And I also understudy Grisabella and Rumpelteazer.
Excellent. Do you have a
Mhm.
show as either of those already, or is this is just in
Yes,
case something happens?
Rumpelteazer. I have a show, I believe, the 21st.
The 21st. Okay. Oh,
Hmm.
that's that following Saturday.
Hmm.
That's what
So
I'm
it's coming up.
thinking. Yeah. Okay. Very cool.
Hmm.
Now, did you see the movie? Yeah.
No, I did not.
Critically panned.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about it. As a Cats fan, I did not want to see it.
Fair.
I've heard a lot though, like they've changed some things, they've changed storylines, they've changed the music, and I'm like, if you're
Oh,
watching Cats, you're watching it for
cats.
Cats. You're
Yeah.
waiting for that Andrew Lloyd Webber, the classic songs. You're waiting for those classic themes in the music.
hmm
And I've heard some of that was lacking, and I was like, I'm not watching this.
Yeah. I don't want this to ruin like the image of
No.
like something that I care about so greatly. That's
Right.
completely fair. Yeah. So what is it about Jenny Any Dots that drew you to this character, and why did you want to play her?
I love tapping. Like tapping
Mm,
is one of my like strengths, my passions. Like
mhm.
I love doing a tap number. Um, and Jenny has this insane tap break in her song that everybody looks forward to. It's really like I would call it the 11 o'clock number, but it's not. It's the third number in the show. So when you see it, like there's so many of us on stage, like you get both the comedic parts of her and then she has like a little reveal and then she does a little dance for you and you're like, "Oh, I like this cat."
Yeah, so it's fun and
Yeah,
it's rewarding. It sounds like her personality kind of matches yours too. Just kind of
very
just kind of
much.
bright, enjoying being like the center of attention, but not in a sassy way. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, of course. Excellent.
And when I was thinking of the concept with JoJo, because me and Jojo are very close. And the minute we
Mhm.
knew Cats was happening and that he was on as the director, he came to me asking to scenic design. And when we were talking about the direction we were going with it, we came up with an idea for Jenny. And instantly I was like, oh, I need to be her because it's just me. So she's
Mhm.
essentially the like clown cat, and I am the clown of the cast. Like I'm very much class clown. I love making people laugh. It's who I am. I love being
Mhm.
silly. So when we figured out that we wanted to go in the clown direction for her, I was like, she just
Nice.
resonates more with me. I want to be a goofball, and then I want to do my little tap number
Mhm.
and then dance my butt off the rest of the show.
I love that.
Yeah.
And this is really blending a lot of different things for you, right? Because you're not just a performer. We talked about this before. You've also choreographed and you
Hmm.
are the set designer for Cats. So, how
I
did you
am.
get into all those different avenues in theater?
So I went to college. I went to SUNY Cortland for musical theater.
Mm.
And while I was there, we do a class in the shop, to just learn all the ways of the tech side of the world. But I honestly really loved it. So I became the tech intern. So when I wasn't in class or I wasn't at rehearsal, I spent my time in the shop.
Mm.
I would help with building the sets. I would help with scenic painting. I did light design, running the board. Like I really learned every aspect of the tech side, and I loved it. Like still being able to be a part of the art and the work and helping form the world that the actors get to play in was also
Mm.
something that really drew me in. I love creating a space. I love taking you somewhere where you don't expect to go for a show. I love a concept if it works, because
Mhm.
a lot of
Mhm.
people love to do a concept and then it doesn't work and it makes no sense. But if you could take
Yeah.
but if you could take a show somewhere and almost make it make more sense, like how we're doing with Cats, I think it's really creative and interesting to see something different and not see a cookie cutter set that is of a previous show, like
Right.
a regional production or a touring show. Like, I don't like the copy paste of it all. I like being surprised, I
Yeah.
like seeing
Creating an
something
original.
different. So up at school, I interned with my professor, Scott Holdridge, who I owe everything to. Like he taught me everything I know. Um, and he really supported me while I was up at school with taking my journey, balancing both being an actor while also wanting to pursue technical design and all that.
Mhm.
And my senior thesis, I had to build a set, help paint the cabaret set. And I really, really loved it. I think my favorite part about it is just coming up with new ideas and creating a new space for a show that people might know really well, and then be able to see something new and get a different story and take a different message away and be transported into a new place.
Yeah. Oh, that's really cool.
Mm.
And so, what drew your inspiration for your cat set design?
Um, Probably my biggest inspiration was Coney Island.
Really?
Yeah. I wanted to do something different, but still classic. You know, People are going to expect to see the junkyard. So I still wanted that junkyard feel, but I wanted to
Hmm.
take it into a more fun twist, So I went to JoJo and I was like, what if we did something different, but still true to the nature of what the show is? And from there, we came up with doing a carnival circus-esque type of cats, but in a rundown, as if Coney Island had its own junkyard where all the broken rides or the broken amusement things went. So it creates almost a creepier, like
Hmm.
cynical feeling to it because you have like a creepy clown face, and the circus drapes that are all worn and tattered because it's as if a circus or carnival came through to this town and then left all the stuff that broke and was run down after it's run and left. So the concept we came up with was that this carnival came in and all these performers had their own cats. So each cat almost represents a performer that you would see at the carnival. Like Rum Tum Tugger is the strong man, Jenny Anydots is the clown, Bumblerine and Demeter are these showgirls, Mistopheles is the magician, and so forth. And that they were almost abandoned too. So they live within this junkyard that they still bring to life as if the carnival is still there.
I love that. Honestly, that
Thanks.
was the most excited I've now been for this show. 'Cause I didn't know anything about it. Like when
Mhm.
I love hearing of the level of intention that people take in what they do. Thank you once again to Shea for joining us here on the Kyle Petty Show and getting to hear a little bit about her set design for Cats and what you even her inspiration for the character that she plays, Miss Jenny Any Dots. Okay, so I'm excited about that. Let me tell you what is going on in Long Island Theater this weekend.
What's the buzz? Well, I can tell you what's a happening.
Okay, so like we said, CM has Cats opening this Saturday, March 14th, and they're closing on the 29th. All right, so we've got 3 weekends to get down there for that. Theater 3 is continuing their run of Godspell, and that closes on March 22nd. Okay, so you've only got 2 more weekends left. Okay, 2 weekends left. And our good friend Keith Jones is starring in that one, who you also saw in the Kyle Petty Show a few weeks ago. So please go and support them. Smithtown Performing Arts Center, of course, we discussed this as well. Jagged Little Pill is opening next weekend, right? Next weekend, but mark your calendars. That's March 21st, closing on April 19th. You got a little bit of time to see that one. But Smithtown is also doing an Irish comedy night on March 14th. And I got to be honest with you, like when I heard about this before, I thought this was like a random thing. And it's like, no. It's because St. Patrick's Day is right around the corner. It's so stupid. I gotta mark my own calendar. I don't even know what's going on in the world. Let's see what's happening at CAP. Cap Syosset is continuing their run of Fiddler. That closes on the 22nd. Okay, so another 2 weekend alert. 2 weekends left alert. And Merrick, they've got their paint and sip tomorrow. Damn it. I really wish I could be there for that. I'm very, very upset. But that sounds like it's going to be a great time. And they've got the School of Rock opening on March 21st. Okay, so that's next Saturday. Now, North Fork Community Theater, they are opening 1776 tonight. And that's running until the 29th. Okay, so not a lot of time to get there. I believe that's 1, 2, 3 weekends. Okay, so get down there. Hampton Theater Company, they are presenting I Do, which also opened tonight. And that's running until the 29th as well. Now, I also come to find out that they are doing vow renewals and complimentary ones at that after each performance. All right, so that's very exciting. That's very, very cool. How very, very unique and appropriate. What else do we have? Lighthouse Repertory. They are opening Fiddler tomorrow in St. James. And then on the 27th, they are moving to Freeport. Freeport! Oh, and I realize I never told you why I do that. Again, I'll save that for later. We'll save it for later. What else did I come to find out? Merrick Theater. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm so sorry that I left this off the list. I didn't know. I knew that it was having not in the we talk about this, right? In up, we're back. Look, that is what happens when you are live. Okay, there is always going to be some little problem, but I want to say thank you for supporting this project. Thank you for supporting it here on Long Island. Be sure to check out my special features speaking about the disparity between children's theater and main stage theater. and why it's important to respect and support both equally, right? That's going to be on Monday. And you can find my extended conversations from Patrick Campbell and Shea McMahon on the website and everywhere at 10 p.m. tonight. You can catch it on Spotify and all these YouTube, blah, blah, blah. But thank you again for supporting us, and have a nice night, have a great weekend, and we'll see you very soon. Thanks a lot.